We often speak about the power of art, but what about the power of public art, in particular, a powerful presentation? I'm delighted to be joined today by Carmen Zella, the curator of Luminex, but also a wonderful founder and creator of nowart, which is a public art group.
Yes, we're a public art agency based in Los Angeles. We're doing work across the country, but super happy and proud to call Los Angeles our home.
Now, when you say public art, how do you define that? I mean, is it just a picture, a sculpture, a mural? What is it that you feel is necessary to be public art?
Public art is about access. It's not that it needs to be a sculpture or it doesn't need to be a mural, and that's kind of what our organization is constantly pushing. So our open space is in the public. It could be anything. Some of my favorite public art, there's this one piece where there was a pianist. He was floating on a glacier in the Arctic. Playing his piano.
Now this very energetic version of public art, and you have captured that with Luminex. And Luminex is something that Los Angeles has enjoyed now for 3 incarnations. Luminex being something light-based.
Mm-hmm. Light in the darkness.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
if somebody has not seen a Luminex, how did it begin?
During COVID, all the galleries were shut, people were not accessing art. And humanity needs to thrive when we have the expression of art brought back into our streets, and the artists being able to start to inspire people, capture moments of time. And so when we released Luminex, it was an idea that Paul Chavez, he's a technical director at Arup Industries, he and I really wanted to be able to bring something into the streets of downtown Los Angeles and, break it up, be able to say that art is still existing in this city, even when people were all in their homes. And so we did it in a safe way. We had it outside and we were able to project these pieces. So there's a lot of light-based festivals that happen all around the country, internationally actually. And the distinguishing factor of Luminex is that it's an art exhibition. We're really, looking to the artists to create the content. We want to have it content rich. We want to be able to have conversations and have a level of curation that's brought into the streets. Los Angeles is the creative capital of America. And, it's always this, innovator in that way. And so that's why it's a perfect home for a project like this.
It has its challenges, I would imagine, for you as a curator to work in the streets of Los Angeles.
Yeah.
How did you determine the best space and how this would work and how many artists you could include and what type of art could be created on that scale?
It's not easy. That's why a lot of people are not doing public art, because it's very, very challenging. You've got all these barriers. You have to be able to access the property owners. You have permits that you have to get, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So, since I've been working in Los Angeles for a while, I've made relationships and connections to be able to help with these kinds of activations to sort of bring them forward. But this particular iteration, when I started working with Paul, originally, I have to be honest, I was thinking let's just do some guerrilla, projector on the back of a bike, ride around LA and just project. But Paul has connections with Panasonic. He has connections with different production companies like Show Imaging that we've been so lucky who came in as sponsors, because they weren't doing anything. There was no concerts, there was no nothing. The parking lot owners were empty. So it actually really strangely created a stage for us to create such a monumental installation like Luminex during COVID, it really created an opportunity for us to be able to do something like this, because in the third iteration of Luminex, we have 10 installations, but things are back. Parking lots are really hard to get. You know, people are busy, artists are busy. So it's become, like increasingly more and more difficult, but because we seeded it and there's such a overwhelmingly positive response with this project, now we have the support. So the timing was actually kind of interesting there.
Or you, as the curator, gathering all of these wonderful artists, creating this amazing exhibition all over the country, not just here with Luminex, but everything that you do. How are you getting the actual intent of the artist and
the messaging? Yeah. So it's, for me, it's more important that they are inspired. Actually, for me, it's, and this is for me, I'm not speaking on behalf of any one of the artists necessarily, but the concepts of their artwork has many, many layers. But the concepts start with giving them sort of like a moment where it's like, what is this? What am I looking at? And whether they walk away feeling like that was really cool, but they don't know why. This was really incredible. But even just because of the pure scale and the visual content of it all, that's a win. Because that level of inspiration will drive further curiosity down the line, where they'll start to feel a little less intimidated about art. Whether somebody gets it and understands all of the deeper content and the concepts behind each of the pieces is not really the goal. That's not our goal at all.
Why should we bother with this in the first place?
Because art is the harmonizing part of humanity that brings us all together. It's what defines us against all other species, that we create art. It's how we look back in history and understand where we come from, and how we got there. It's really that moment where we are lifted beyond just the everyday, momentous, like putting one foot in front of the other, watching the clock type of life. It's what gives ourselves purpose. And, art is that big scope. It's music, it's dance, it's everything. And so what I love about the work that we do at nowart is that we bring all of those different types of media together in, we get artists that are multidisciplinary, and they bring it all to you in these incredible installation moments.
Well, if people want to learn more about nowart or you or the charitable arm of nowart, NXT or anything that's happened with Luminex, past, present, what's the best way for them to find out?
Yeah, the best way would be going to our website, which is nowartpublic.com. They can also find us on Instagram, which is nowart_LA. But yeah, it would be really great for people to reach out and hopefully, participate. That's what our whole goal is with our 501c3, is that we need to be able to do this as a community and as a city and all participate in building these great art experiences for the public.
Well, I'm sure you are inspiring a lot of people just like you are inspired. So, thank you so much, Carmen. It was great to chat with you.
Thank you so much.
And that's a wrap on this LA Currents.